Okay, so 6 months ago, or sorry, 5 months ago, I did not know what Thumoslang is. But also 5 months ago, I was able to be fortunate enough to meet Nick, who proposed to me the idea of creating a booklet on my knowledge that I've gathered as an undergraduate economics student. And so throughout the 5 months, I've been working with Nick on developing a vision that I could carry the booklet or the book on. And since Nick's background is with quality assurance, and also since he wants the booklet to be as good as possible, he's being tough on me and making sure my vision is foolproof and makes sense, and that is logically sound. And so for me, I've been writing my vision for these past 5 months in a way that most other people would. They have different parts that make sense in their head, and then they put it together. But when I sent Nick my updated vision this morning, he pointed out a flaw. And that flaw made me realize that, maybe my thoughts aren't as soundproof as they really are. After all, I'm just human. But then he showed me, okay, to create a vision, you need the hypothesis. And the hypothesis needs to contain parts that add up to a whole. And Nick's philosophy is thumos, and the language of it is Thumoslang. And using Thumoslang, we're able to define the parts to make sure that they add up to the whole. Because if the different parts don't add up to the whole, then either something is missing, or the equation doesn't make any sense and is incorrect. And so the hole that I have in my hypothesis, the solution is workplace democracy. Part of it is the problem, which is economic instability. Using Thumoslang in a process called backward induction, we're able to break down what economic instability means. Instability, we figured out, means submission to imbalance. Now later we figured out what imbalance means, which is being offset or offsetting the equilibrium. Economic is relating to the economy. Now this one was the toughest one for us to figure out, okay, what does an economy mean? There are textbook definitions, but even with the textbook definitions, you don't know when economy is at play. That's what Thumoslang is for. Thumoslang teaches you when subjects are at play, not what they specifically mean. And so through backwards induction, we looked at, okay, what are the elements of an economy? As an economics student, I know that the study of economics can be broken into microeconomics and macroeconomics. Microeconomics looks at specific markets, which involve supply and demand, thus involving trade. And then we determined that a market means an ongoing series of trades. So we solved one aspect of economics, or an economy, is the market. But looking at the other half of macroeconomics, as an economics student, I know that macroeconomics looks at the economy as a whole, meaning it looks at a combination of all the markets. Therefore, you get statistics like GDP, total consumption, and inflation. And knowing this, I was able to realize, okay, an economy as a whole means that there has to be multiple, there needs to be multiple markets. And thus, an economy means think the definition's wrong. I have to double check.
Interdependence.
Interdependent, yes. Thank you. See, also the challenge with Thumoslang too is trying to remember the definitions, but that's why you always write stuff down. Because then you become familiar and realize you made a mistake. Okay, the reason why it's interdependent is because what macroeconomics looks at is a combination of all the markets and how they affect each other and how they affect statistics like GDP, consumption, and inflation. And so from there we came up with an economy that means ongoing independent markets. So whenever there are ongoing independent markets at play, that's how you know you have an economy. And for me, that was mind-blowing because now I can clearly define what an economy is with telling you exactly when an economy is at play. College never taught me that. I could tell you things about the economy. I could tell you specific aspects of the economy, how the economy works and operates, but I couldn't define it to you if you had no idea what it meant, if you didn't have the same knowledge as I did. And so, as a result, I believe that Thumoslang is fundamental in allowing you to understand the bare bone basics of whatever subject you're studying in, or the bare bone basics of what things mean in your related subject. And so, yeah.
You did not explain that what Thumoslang can do for you that you did not expect.
Okay, so I did not expect that Thumoslang would help me this much. I thought it would be more of a tool that would help confirm my vision, but I didn't know it could help craft my vision, if that makes any sense. So I thought Thumoslang would help with making sure that whatever I have written was soundproof, but not making sure that my vision is built on a soundproof basis.
Can you read your statement that you wrote?
From this morning?
Yes.
Okay.
The last statement at lunch.
Oh, last statement at lunch. Okay. So, I haven't seen Thumoslang as something that could help me until today. Or help me in my field until today. I assumed it will help me refine and confirm my vision. But now I see it as a tool for developing foolproof ideas.
Read it again smoothly and then explain what you mean.
Okay. I haven't seen Thumoslang as something that can help me in my field until today. I assumed it would help refine and confirm ideas. But now I see it as a tool to help develop foolproof ideas. So what I mean by that is I was not able, or I did not think that Thumoslang could help with generating solid foolproof ideas. I thought the ideas came first. Thumoslang is just an afterthought, sort of as a proof. But now understanding the importance and the usefulness of backwards induction, I realize I need to start with Thumoslang before I do anything else.
If not, what would you lose if you don't start with Thumoslang first in what that is?
So at the start, I did not think, or at the start, if I didn't use Thumoslang, I feel like I would have lost a lot more time, a lot more energy, and not using Thumoslang means that there is a good possibility that there is a logical problem in your idea or vision or theory or whatever you're trying to build. Thumoslang helps prevent that. Thumoslang is